A 1930s radio broadcaster named Walter Winchell is quoted for saying, "A real friend is one who walks in when the rest of the world walks out." The quote perfectly captures the essence of loyalty and resilience in friendship. Winchell's sentiment aligns closely with the ancient wisdom of the Stoic philosopher Seneca. In his third letter, on true and false friendship, he warns against superficial companionships that vanish in times of adversity. Now let's do a read-through of the letter and reflect on it afterwards. If you like the video, please consider liking and subscribing. And now, let's get to it. You sent me a letter through someone you call a friend. Yet in the next sentence, you tell me not to discuss all your personal matters with him, saying that you don't even do that yourself. So, in the same letter, you've both confirmed and denied that he's your friend. If you're using the word friend in the casual way we use it, like how we call political candidates honorable gentlemen or greet people as dear sir when we forget their names, fine. But if you consider someone a friend without trusting them like you trust yourself, you're mistaken and don't fully grasp what true friendship is. I believe you should share everything with a friend, but first, evaluate the person carefully. Once a friendship is solid, trust them, but before that, you must judge them. People who do the opposite, trusting someone first and judging them later, are getting it all wrong. They're ignoring Theophrastus's rules, which say you should judge a person before making them a friend. Take your time deciding if someone should be a friend, but once you decide, welcome them wholeheartedly. Talk to them as freely as you talk to yourself. Ideally, you should live in a way that there's nothing you wouldn't trust even an enemy with. Still, there are some things we keep private out of social convention. At the very least, share your worries and thoughts with a friend. Treat them as trustworthy, and they'll become trustworthy. Some people, out of fear of being deceived, end up teaching others to deceive them. Their suspicions give their friends a reason to betray them. Why hold back when you're with a friend? Why shouldn't you feel as comfortable with them as when you're alone? There are people who share their problems with anyone they meet, even things they should only tell close friends, unloading everything on some random listener. On the other hand, some people won't confide even in their closest friends, and if it were possible, they wouldn't even trust themselves, hiding their secrets deep inside. But neither approach is right. It's a mistake to trust everyone, and also a mistake to trust no one. That said, it's more innocent to trust too easily, even if it's less safe. You should also criticize both kinds of people, those who are always busy and those who are always idle. Being overly busy isn't the same as being productive, it's just a sign of a restless mind. And true rest doesn't mean avoiding all activity, that's just laziness and inertia. Take note of something I read in Pomponius. Some people retreat into darkness so much that they can't even see clearly in daylight. In other words, people should balance activity and rest. The person who rests should also take action, and the one who acts should also find time to rest. Look to nature for guidance. She created both day and night. Farewell. In this letter, Seneca addresses the profound and nuanced nature of friendship, centering on trust as the cornerstone of meaningful relationships. He critiques Lucilius's casual use of the term friend to describe someone he doesn't fully trust, challenging a widespread tendency to label acquaintances as friends. For Seneca, friendship is not a superficial connection, but a deeply thoughtful commitment, built on the kind of trust that mirrors how we confide in ourselves. This trust, Seneca argues, is not something given lightly, but rather the result of careful judgment. The idea of judge first, trust later reflects his Stoic emphasis on prudence and self-awareness in all relationships. Seneca's view that friends should be trusted as much as oneself reveals a Stoic ideal of friendship, where friends act as mirrors for each other's souls. Trusting a friend completely, in Seneca's philosophy, creates a relationship where moral growth and mutual support are possible. However, he cautions against blind trust. True friendship requires time and discernment. The process of evaluating potential friends is crucial, not only to avoid betrayal, but also to build the kind of friendship that can endure life's difficulties. Seneca also critiques the extremes of human behavior regarding trust. On one end are those who share too much with anyone, diluting the value of friendship by confiding in people who have not earned that intimacy. On the other end are those who trust no one, even keeping secrets from themselves out of fear or cynicism. Seneca views both extremes as harmful. Trusting everyone leads to disappointment and betrayal, while trusting no one leads to isolation and a lack of emotional connection. The key, as with much of Stoicism, is to find balance. Friendship should be selective, but once someone is deemed worthy, trust should be absolute. His critique of both constant busyness and laziness reflects another Stoic principle: balance in action and rest. Being perpetually busy, Seneca argues, is often a sign of a mind running from itself, while too much rest becomes inertia. This balance of activity and rest parallels his philosophy on friendship. Just as one must find a balance in trust and vulnerability, one must also learn when to act and when to withdraw for reflection. Both are necessary for a virtuous life. Seneca's reflection on people who retreat into darkness to the point that they cannot see in the light speaks to those who isolate themselves emotionally or mentally. In doing so, they become incapable of true friendship or even of seeing life clearly. His remedy is a balanced life, one that moves between the poles of solitude and connection, action and rest, trust and discernment. Ultimately, Seneca's letter is a meditation on the nature of deep, thoughtful friendship as a foundation for a virtuous life. Friendship, in Seneca's Stoicism, is not just a social bond, but a moral practice. It teaches patience, judgment, and vulnerability, and serves as a support for the pursuit of wisdom. That's it for this time. The fourth letter is in the works. Until then, you can check out my other videos. Catch you on the flip side.